Good morning. Welcome to your program, Your Agenda, and I am your host, Cito Beltran, thanking you for being subscribers of Cignal TV and viewers of One News PH on channels 8 and 250. Thank you also to our viewers via Facebook and YouTube. Maraming salamat po. Also to PLDT Home Fiber Optic Internet. And today is May 19, 2023. It's a Friday towards the end of the weekend. So I do hope all is well. Nakabuo na ba kayo ng mga trabaho, project? Have you accomplished your goals for the week? We do hope that you have. And I hope you have made actual plans, if not to-do list, for the weekend. And if I may, please make sure your to-do list includes going to church, service, observing the Sabbath, whatever faith you practice. I pray that you would set time for God and, of course, for your family. Wag yung Sabado-Linggo na, gagawa ka pa ng trabaho. Okay, so let's go now to our daily starter. It's a long one, but I do hope it encourages you, inspires you. And our daily starter is from Robert Greene. And his message is, if you are unsure of a course of action, do not attempt it. Wag na lang. Kung hindi ka sigurado, kung kakabaka-baka, nag-aalanganin ka, wag na lang. Wag mo nang gawin. Wag mo munang gawin. Your doubts and hesitations will infect your execution. Yung may kakabaka-ba, hindi makabira ng maayos, di ba? Ilag ka ng ilag, nagdi-delay ka. So, your doubts and hesitations will infect your execution. Timidity is dangerous. Yung kumbaga, medyo nakatumitiklop ka, nangingilag ka, naduduro ka, delikado yan. Better to enter with boldness. Okay, better to enter with boldness. Any mistakes you commit through audacity are easily corrected with more audacity. Okay, may sabi, sige, tara, tira pa rin, tuloy pa rin. Okay, everyone admires the bold, no one honors the timid. Okay, so tandaan yan. Everyone, lahat kinikilala yung mga malakasan loob at hindi pinapalakpakan yung duduwag-duwag. Okay, so that's our daily starter. Of course, don't get stupid. Don't be reckless. Meron dyan kasi, lakas nga ng loob, tanga naman, o medyo reckless. Okay, let's now go to the front page of the Philippine Star. May 19, 2023, Friday. And the headline goes, AFP retirement age raised to 57. Marcos okays changes to fixed terms of senior AFP officers. President Marcos has signed into law a measure raising the retirement age in the Armed Forces of the Philippines to 57 and amending the fixed terms of top AFP officials, modifying a policy that reportedly caused grumblings in the military. Okay, Republic Act number 11939, signed by Marcos on May 17, amended RA 11709, which had prescribed a fixed 3-year term of duty for the AFP chiefs and other top military officials. Okay, so at the top of the front page, RITM, okay, stops COVID testing, heart center restricts visitor. Reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction or RT-PCR testing for COVID are no longer available at the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine or RITM in Muntinlupa. In an advisory posted on its Facebook page, RITM suspended RT-PCR testing starting yesterday. Meanwhile, the Heart Center, the management of the Philippine Heart Center, started implementing yesterday a no visitor policy amid the continued rise in COVID cases. So yun po, no, ulitin natin, yung Research Institute for Tropical Diseases has stopped the testing for RT-PCR, and the Philippine Heart Center, no visitors allowed, patients only. And dapat naman talaga masanay tayo. I don't know about you, but me, when I go to the hospital, me only. Okay. 5 others included in case versus Teves. 5 people allegedly involved in the brazen attack that killed Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo, and 9 others last March 4 were included in the multiple murder charges filed last Wednesday against suspended Congressman Arnulfo Teves. Okay. However, the DOJ kept the identities of those accused. Okay, yan na po. Meanwhile, lawmaker tags onion cartel firm Sibuyas Queen. Marikina Representative Stella Luz Kimbo has unmasked the company and its owner believed behind the record high prices of onions that reached 720 per kilo in the late 2022, along with other firms. Okay, Kimbo said the PhilVieva or Vegetable Exporters and Vendors Association Philippines Inc. group of companies owned by Lilia or Leia Cruz was the main player in the onion cartel. Marami pong reyna ng mga sibuyas, pero ang umiiyak Pilipinas, yung mga reyna ng sibuyas hindi mahuli-huli. Okay. Meanwhile, Aussie FM bears Philippine Coast Guard aid package. Okay. Visiting Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong has announced a package of initiatives aimed at enhancing maritime cooperation as well as bigger official development assistance ODA to the Philippines for this year and in 2024. Ayan po, that's good news from our friends in Australia. Okay. Bad news for Filipinos once again. Kung umiiyak kayo sa sibuyas, eto, umiiyak kaming mga magmamanok. Well, actually not me in particular, but I commiserate with my feathered friends, okay? Racers complain, chicken sold at double the farm gate, okay? Poultry racers from the United Broilers Racers Association or UBRA are grappling with the exorbitant retail prices of chicken soaring as high as 200 pesos per kilo in Metro Manila markets, which is double the farm gate price of only 95 pesos a kilo. The quick summary is that less and less people are buying chicken. Many Filipinos can't afford to buy chicken as like they used to, so they are buying less. And because you are buying less, the retailers, the vendors, and the middlemen have to raise their markups or increase their markups. So they now put 100% tubo Okay? 100% profit from farm gate. Ang problema po, it is a vicious circle because that means you continue to buy even less. And therefore, it is the racers who suffer. And what's happening is many of the racers are no longer racing. Ayan po, nalinti ka na. Sino ba ang secretary ng Department of Agriculture? Okay, last few news items. The state of Montana becomes the first U.S. state to ban TikTok. Okay, the state of Montana has officially banned TikTok. Okay, and Montana's clampdown on TikTok comes as the app faces proposals of national legislation, including one bill that could give the White House massive new powers to oversee Chinese tech companies. Ayan, kumbaga security concerns. And yan po. Okay. 7 Pinoys make it to Forbes under 30. Okay, medyo ito. Hindi ko maintindihan to. 7 Filipinos made it to the Forbes roster of 30 under 30 Asia 2023. Okay. So they are considered young entrepreneurs, leaders, and trailblazers across the Asia-Pacific region, according to Forbes. Okay. Ewan ko, blaha na kamudiha. Okay, and we have photos, okay? Ayala Healthcare Holdings Inc. recently unveiled the new Healthway Qualimed Hospital in San Jose del Monte brand in Bulacan. Okay, so yung po, photo shows, okay, Healthway Qualimed Hospital San Jose del Monte COO Roby Zen Ignacio, Ayala Corp CFO Alberto de la Razabal, Ayala Corp Chairman Jaime Augusto Sobelde Ayala, San Jose del Monte Congresswoman Florida Robes, and San Jose del Monte City Administrator Dennis Booth. Okay, last but not the least, ayun, continuing the nakaka-local, okay? Over 60 participating brands get to showcase their products at the SM Mall of Asia Music Hall on May 18 and 19. That's today. The Philippine Star stages the culminating event of Nakaka-Local, the PhilStar Media Group Advocacy program. Okay, so that's about all the news we have from the front page of the Philippine Star. Please do get a copy or subscribe online. Okay. And if you are wondering what our topic on this last day of the week is, well, naku po, ito, lalo na if you are a young employee, if you are starting out in a company, if you are a company owner, etc., etc., we are going to talk about the workplace, about the impact of digitalization, artificial intelligence, because apparently there was a study conducted recently here in the country that there will be about 50,000 to 100,000 jobs lost to artificial intelligence, technology, etc. in the next 3 years. The question is that the job you were planning to have and you are enrolled in college for? So, isa lang yan sa mga pag-uusapan natin. Gab, could you please introduce our expert for this morning?
Ellen Perez is a certified life coach who advocates for mental wellness and alopecia awareness. She calls herself the Pambansang Life Coach. Prior to this, she worked in various companies such as DuPont and ICT Marketing Services.
Okay, Ellen, good morning to the program.
Good morning. It's good to
Well,
see you again, Cito. Thank you for this invitation. Magandang umaga sa ating mga tagapakinig, tagapanood, and I'm glad to be back here in Agenda.
okay, medyo ako nagmamasyado malakas yata yung kaping ginawa ng misis ko para sa akin. Nasa shortcut ko yung good morning, welcome to the program. Anyway, Ellen, the team agenda invited you to join us again today because I came across that article where it said that AI is going to displace people. And then, of course, there are a lot of things that are happening as people try to, grapple with the decision. Babalik ba tayo online or babalik ba tayo face-to-face? And then suddenly now we have COVID again. So there's going to be a lot of issues. Okay, now, according to a survey by Sprout, a human resource and analytics platform, 70.7% of remote employees in the Philippines love their current setup. However, the survey also found that only 43.5% feel engaged. And what's worse, other studies indicate being online or remote work is great, but the junior, yung mga bata, are not getting mentoring. Many of those who are in remote settings like myself, apparently they're discovering that feedback is slim and none. Kumbaga, na parang, hello, buhay pa kami, nandito kami, but baka gusto nyo kaming kamustahin, etc. How are we doing? So feedback seems to be a problem. Now, what have you observed and what are your suggestions?
Thank you, Cito. Basically, I read or come across also with that article, and it is really true. But bottom line, alam mo naman tayong Pilipino, what we loved most about working at home is really the issue of traffic, difficulty in commuting. Those people who come to me or who have reached out to me for career coaching, career pathing, and all of those, and even personal life coaching because of the stress of commuting, they're already exhausted and tired by the time they reached office. So that's the reason why they're really comfortable and they feel that they are productive at a home setting. But then again, I totally agree with you. I really also get to see the disconnect or the gap, especially with the junior workers or the rank and file employee. They're missing out the supervision of the leadership. But mind you, because of the new situation right now, or I think you're also aware of it, what we call right now of a hybrid work setup. That's why it's being introduced. Like, let's say in a week, you'll be working at home 3 times, and 2 times as well is that you'll be in the office. For the reason, of course, also of engagement, and also connection. Communication is basically the key. So for those employees who are watching us right now, make sure also that you make your presence visible online. You are felt through, being engaged in meeting, proactively being solution-driven, someone who suggests or provide inputs to the company during meeting or town hall.
Meaning, you're saying that employees or team members should participate, should be seen and heard from. But
exactly.
Here's the problem, Ellen. There are many CEOs, presidents, general managers who are clueless, mindless, or don't put value into this kind of activities. Parang they delegate. It is the nature of the CEO to delegate because the CEO is supposed to be the visionary, let the president be the functionary, and then the general managers, the producers. But no one seems to put that on the table that, companies, organizations should conduct this meeting, whether it's town hall, Zoom, etc., or group chats, for feedback and for connectivity. What's your suggestion on that area?
I can totally relate, Sir Cito, because I was once an executive assistant to a country managing director for 5 years, and all the delegation is on me, especially for employee engagement. And normally, what we already provide to the C levels, to the CEO, to the executives, are the output, the results, or the input of the employees. So basically, what I can really suggest on that item is that make sure as well that when you think or when you think as a solution driven, you act on it. Meaning to say, you really reach out. Okay? And it's just the same thing as pag sinasabi ng tao, hindi ako napopromote. Pinapakita mo bang ka-promote ka, or pinaparating mo ba sa boss mo na merong dapat ka nang ma-promote, entitled ka nang ma-promote, eto na yung mga contributions mo. Sometimes employees miss that out. They really don't show their initiative, their effort, and really in this changing, challenging time, you don't need any other person to uplift you or commend you. You yourself has to work on it. So know your value, know your strength, and demonstrate it. I'm pretty much sure the management will hear it, the management will know it, and they will acknowledge and recognize you.
Yeah,
eventually,
but
for
Ellen,
sure.
I've heard this feedback where, puro cascade. Baha na nga sa floor, cascade pa ng cascade to mga amo namin. What is the reality in the workplace now? Because it seems that that's a fact, everybody delegates, and they're clueless that the people in the bottom are either spread so thin. Parang, okay, we gotta cut our costs, we gotta maximize our outputs from our people, and then we gotta delegate. But itong mga nasa taas, nakaupo lang dun sa kanilang mga opisina, and they're just
signing.
having their latte, ordering this, ordering that. Signing and looking after their ass, covering their butts.
Sadly, Cito, that's how it is. If you are a person that you don't want to be reprimanded, you don't want to be managed, or you don't want to be someone that you will be, be one of those people not on the managerial level or higher ups. Well, you have that option really of coming up with your own business, because really that is how the workplace is. That's how the environment of the typical work environment is, whether you are in a corporate setup, whether you are in a BPO, you are in a production or a supplier, whatever it is, there was really a command of a leadership. There is a command of a follower. So either you cannot play the role of which you can be your own leader or your own follower by coming up with your own business, by coming up with your own company, or manage your own business. So talagang ganun siya. It's really that setup, whether it's a Filipino-based company or global company, US-based company or whatnot. I've been in a corporate setting for more than 15 years, and that's how it is really. But again, at the end of the day, it is important that you abide policies, protocol, and also make sure that you are an asset to a company.
Yeah, but Ellen, and with all due respect, okay, I'm not arguing with you. You're my guest. But I'm just wondering, okay, because what you're talking about are the old world rules. Those are the rules for my generation. And when I talk to young people, they're the ones who say, Kuya Cito, this is the digital world.
Yes.
This is the millennial generation. This is, the modern world is moving on. And here in the Philippines, para ka pa rin nagpapalakad ng bahay, ang management style. It is so much like it's run like a house instead of a company. What changes in our digital millennial age? Because they're talking about proximity, the power of proximity, town hall meetings, consultative operations. What can you say about that?
Basically, it's all about work-life integration. It's not anymore, if you're talking about really the time of these days, it's not anymore work-life balance. It's a really integration. And that's how the millennial works. They integrate things and they are good at it. It's not anymore balancing it because you integrate it. Even like what we're doing right now, we're in this conversation, but you can integrate personal matters. Even if you're doing Zoom calls, you can readily pay your bills through GCash. So basically, you just have to be adaptable in these changes, and also really accepting those changes and be open-minded in learning this technology that we have right now. Because kung hindi nga, kagaya nga na sinabi mo, mahuhulit, maiiwan ka talaga sa biyahe, yung career pathing mo talagang mawawala because you cannot adapt and grasp to these changes. So basically, you really have to, adapt with it, be open-minded in learning on this technology, the changes, and for sure, pretty much you will progress.
Clearly, the potential employees, job seekers, etc., their profile have changed. They're now the millennials. They feel empowered. It's
True.
Either I get what I want or I'll just make something that I want. So,
Correct.
kumbaga, kung hindi ako makakuha ng career, kakariring ko na lang yung paghahanap buhay in some other form. Now, what do you know of jobs that are really a threat or under threat? Because I've been reading and coming across articles that keep saying this job won't be around in the next, after 5 years. This job will eventually become obsolete. Mostly yung mga pwedeng mapalitan daw ng automation, ng AI, etc. In your counseling or coaching, what are the jobs that you tell the young people? Don't even think about it. Because I'll be honest, okay? I have told a number of people, don't go into journalism. Forget it. It's dead as far as the future is concerned, because nowadays anybody can be a journalist, anybody can be a broadcaster, and unless you put in 30, 40 years of work, being at the top of the game is going to be almost impossible unless you're great at clickbaits.
True. I agree with you, Sir Cito. Well, before I segue to that answer, I would just like to say this, no? There are folks coming to me, they're telling me that they are stressed at work due to the load, or either to the pressure of meeting the deadline, or this AI technologies, or the new technologies of systems that they have to adapt. Or their boss or colleagues, the work environment is stressful. Kaya nga sabi mo, di ba, yung mga millennial ngayon or yung mga generation today, they are, if hindi talaga uubra na mangyari yung gusto ko, I will be out of this company and, do my thing where I am passionate about, create my own business, create my own portfolio, or come up with all my own business. But at the end of the day, I always tell this, whether these are our generation or the new generation of today, it is more stressful to be jobless. So work is a continuous process. So basically, you cannot finish for a day. So you just have to be productive, and then acknowledge to rest as well, because ngayon nga sa sobrang bilis ng mga pangyayari, no, Sir Cito, parang hindi na natin na-normalize ang rest. So we have to really rest, pause, because in doing that, we'll be more proactive, engaging, and we'll have more knowledge about on the things that we need to do and to deliver. And then we have to focus on one task at a time. So make sure also that you put deadlines or block off your schedule so that you can move to another task and be productive at the end of the day. So in terms of the career pathing, actually, I have researched...
hold that thought, Ellen.
Excited ako.
We'll just go for a very quick break.
Sure.
When we return, ano bang mga course ang kalimutan nyo na? Okay, let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back here on Agenda. Welcome back to your program, Your Agenda, here on Cignal TV 1 News. And with us is life coach and ano pa ba yung mga ibang title mo? Ang dami mo kasing title okay? Certified life coach, alopecia advocate, and okay, let's bring in Ellen Perez. Ellen,
Yes,
we were
Sir
talking
Cito.
about careers na will probably become extinct or perhaps unfulfilling or non-profitable in the future. And I started that by saying I have not encouraged people to get into journalism because when you compare the cost of living to the cost of compensation for journalists and the fact that journalism has become displaced by social media, etc., etc., many of the current professionals have essentially toned it down and have started looking for other things here and abroad. Now, what other fields are you seeing that has a limited shelf life?
Well, based on my research as well, something on based on my research, on my experience as well, those who are getting early retirement or a redundancy package from big corporation these days are work that are in terms of support, in terms of clerical, like the secretariat role, which I had before, which I was also hit by the early retirement package. So those are the career that may be hit because of the increase of automation, technology, and all of those things. Anything that is very clerical. Actually, kung titingnan mo nga, wag na tayong dun sa malaking scale. If I could remember, ang dami nating before ng mga messenger. In a company, before there are around 5 or more messengers, and now we don't need those anymore because ikaw na mismo kahit ikaw yung manager, kung meron kang kailangang padala or what, ikaw na mismo magpapadala through any apps that sends documents. So those kind of things, anything that is clerical or let's say support is really something that is in limbo. And also non-related to being connecting to a technology or a soft skills or
like a
technology.
spokesperson.
Yes.
There are people who dream of becoming a spokesperson for a big multinational corporation or whatever. And nowadays, the CEOs are doing the talking, or
Yeah.
their lawyers are doing the talking,
Yes.
or some blabbermouth politician, government official is doing the talking while we are paying for spokespersons who do nothing. So kumbaga, kung ambition mo, karirin yung pagiging spokesperson, then go look for another field because that has become obsolete a displaced career. What else?
Actually, if you are passionate in doing that, you will also, I mean, like, you will be still be able to have that career as a personal profession. Just like in my case, I am a speaker because of my life coaching. So I use technology to make sure that I be able to reach out career people, career folks, or individuals in my speaking engagement. Because if I will not do that, I will not be engaged in this technology. It will be something of a difficulty or a challenge. Kasi nga ngayon talaga, it's really more on having 2, 3, 4 roles or hats to play in one job descriptions. So it is really very difficult and challenging.
Multitasking is the magic word. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but it's really still on a balance. Yes, indeed, multitasking. It's important that you really have a grasp or a knowledge of, whether it's a soft skills, a technology skills, or whatnot. It's important that you have a little of each of those, and you are adaptable in those changes. Meaning to say, if this is introduced to you, instead of doing this, and this is the new technology now, should be able to adapt to it.
What's the profile of the people who come to you, Ellen? Because in my case, now that you've mentioned it, I also do a lot of speaking engagements, coaching, but I'm not the certified coach kind of guy. I'm a crisis management. Ako yung when you are in trouble, you call Beltran.
Yeah, that's
as
good.
my client,
Yes.
as my clients would love to say.
Because of your expertise, of course.
Yeah, and I also, because of age, I kind of try
experience.
to steer CEOs or young business owners how to unload the stuff that they don't need to carry. Kumbaga, that's not your job, give it to somebody else, etc. But now, what about those people who suddenly find themselves displaced by technology, by new trends, etc. For instance, in my heyday, when I was your age or younger, advertising was the name of the game. Wow, if you were an ad executive, sikat ka. It was, a good hustle. It was a life on the fast lane. But now, ano yung advertising, sir?
I can relate, Cito. I'm a major of advertising in formerly Marinol.
Okay.
So, and in these days, parang, ako mismo, I can advertise myself using my Facebook, my social medias, and all of those without getting an advertising agency. So, talagang, it's really 360-degree changes.
Yeah. But so, who are the people that come to you, and what are their dilemmas or what are their problems?
Common concern or challenge is not be able to adapt to the changes. And they have their mindset that this has been done 10 years ago. Why change it now? So they're not really open into adopting this technology, and not only that, to the system as well. Let's say, for instance, they used to report, because right now as well, if if the setup or the organization is being streamlined, they report directly to a certain manager that they don't really do before. So with that, they feel not comfortable about it as well. But for the young generation, it is not the case. For our millennials, that's what they like. That's what they are happy with. Engagement, critical thinking, So there are really gaps between those veterans and those who are young generation workers at the moment. But the good on the onside, the difficulty or challenge of this new millennials is that they get to, I won't say they get burned out, but they look for a challenge right away. Or if the work is like something
They're eager to prove themselves.
yes, they want time to come as early as now and prove themselves in 3 months. Mind you, there are HR professionals or manager coming to me. These millennials, Ellen, are asking to be promoted in just 3 months. So, but they have to prove themselves, right? And only time can tell. And your discipline and your professionalism. So that's really the gap. Now, the veterans or the old-time workers, or the veteran workers, they are timid in terms of, adapting to the changes. They are more into the old
veterans,
style.
Veterans or people my age just tend to keep quiet and then
Yes.
disappear. Kumbaga, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung ano ba yung
Totoo.
tawag? Hindi naman quiet quitting eh. Parang he just walked out the door.
Yes.
That's the behavior of older generation.
But they are disciplined and they will perform what's being asked. They will give you. They will provide you.
Yeah, but the young generation, it's like, I did my job. I've been doing my time. Now, what do you have? Parang, they are the millennials correct in their assessment of their value? Because I've been hearing a lot of this, yung parang know your worth, know
Yes.
your value, and if people don't give you that, walk away. Are the millennials accurate or correct in their value assessment, or it's a fantasy?
I don't want to judge them and our millennial viewers then baka magalit, but in reality, they are really very assertive and they really command. They command communication. They command the workplace in terms of their right. They want what if they feel that they need this, they are entitled to this, they want it. And if it is not given to them, it's easy for them to leave the company. And in fact, the recent team building that I had, they have really high attrition rate in terms of exit or resigning of the young generation. Because if let's say, unlike our time, if our work ended at 6 and we're still working at 7, it's okay. But for the millennial now, not anymore, because at 7, if it's their time for their coffee, meet up with friends in a certain coffee shop, or if it's their time for their yoga or whatnot, they will certainly do that. But I see also a good edge on that, Cito, in terms of, valuing yourself, knowing your needs, but it's just becoming displaced in terms of, incorporating it to work ethics.
Yeah, but in the long term, is this going to be good or bad? Because, hindi naman yan PBA or NBA.
Yes.
That there are a lot of people who are waiting to grab you, to poach you, etc. You're essentially setting yourself up, making the demand based on your personal valuation. What do you tell the young people regarding that? Kasi parang ano yan eh, parang sugal.
Correct.
Hit me, I want another card, or good na ako. What do you tell young people? Because that's a risk.
To be honest with you, Cito, sadly, people are coming to me, the parents of this young generation, and they are really helpless, tired, or can no longer connect with the kids that they have right now, in terms of respect, in terms of work, even household chores, is an issue to them. And so if you will really ask me, hindi siya maganda kasi talagang nagkaroon ng change in terms of value, in terms of respect. to the elders, to the seniors, and yung kasi kung paano mo pinuposisyon yung sarili mo, hindi siya sa ganung angle na kahanga-hanga eh. Kasi you're being questioned in terms of the results that you have given or you have put on the table. How could you ask for a promotion? You felt entitled with the 3 months that you haven't really given enough or provided or proven yourself in terms of giving solutions or profit to a company. Same way, typically Cito, in a house setting, di ba? Ang hirap silang utusan, pero ang daming demands. Kailangan ng wifi na ganito, gantong ganito, and all of those, internet, telephone, or whatnot. Do you agree? Kasi nung time natin...
Simple lang yan, Ellen. Padala mo sa akin yung parents na yun. Number 1, disconnect the Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
Number
That's
2,
what I tell them.
no allowance. Number
Correct.
3, charge rent for bed space and go buy
True.
your own food. Eh, gusto mo
True.
palang boss ka, di magbuhay amo ka.
That's what I tell also the parents na lumalapit sa akin. Kasi nakikrippled sila eh. They are crippled because we are providing everything. So cut all those provisions, all those privileges.
Yeah, but more than that, and I don't want to be anti-millennial because I have a
same
millennial.
here.
I have a millennial daughter, and
Same here.
our relationship is great. But I think it's also because many parents, and it's not their fault, but it might help for them to realize this. A lot of parents got too busy being busy. They were so busy working, earning a living, but not having a life with their children. So they effectively disconnected themselves from the kids. I know one CEO who came to me and didn't know what to do about his son. He said, I've given him everything. I'm trying to give him a position, a title, a responsibility, but he's so laid back about it. And I said, you know what? Your wife is intelligent. You're intelligent. You're hardworking. She's hardworking. What do you expect to produce? A donkey, a mule, or a turtle? Siyempre, mautak yung anak mo. So his level of intelligence is far greater perhaps than yours, or at the very least, he is more technically internet adept than you both combined will ever be.
True.
And so you just gotta give them space. Let them fall on their face. Let him make his mistakes. And, let him work it out. Don't try to control the situation. And sabi niya, o nga, no? Bakit ko ba siya pinoproblema? Kaya naman niya. At
True.
the end of the story.
True. And that's what also I encourage parents who are coming to me. And the young old generation also that's coming to me, they felt that everything is given to them, that they cannot decide. They cannot make their own diskarte, kumbaga, in their term. Hindi sila makadiskarte nung sarili nilang gusto.
Parang yung wife ko in Holland, in the Netherlands, they have a phrase. I just can't say it in Dutch because it's a tongue twister. But the term is an abundance of choice. An abundance of choice in the parking lot. Parang pumunta ka sa mall, sobrang dami ng paparadahan, you don't know where to park. And that's the analogy for the young people who
Yes.
go to you. But speaking of choice, you coach people on career paths. What are the career paths na I just need to focus on it if you don't mind, because
Sure.
we'll run out of time. Yung avoid. So you said clerical work is going to disappear, messengeril work, yung support staffing is going to disappear, will be replaced by other services. Now, for those college degree types, kasi burger, yung hamburger, yung mga fast food, kailangan na ngayon ng college degree. But sa mahal naman, wag na. I keep telling people, mag-nursing na lang kayo, mag-PT na lang kayo para makakapag-abroad pa kayo. What are your recommendations?
Based on my research as well, and also on my experience with those come to me as well, it's really the career trends for 2023 that for this year that we have to be on the watch or on the look for 2024 is something on soft skills. They are becoming important, Cito, because academic systems are also concentrating on soft skills because of the changes due to the
What are soft skills for our viewers?
these are like on the likes of communication, critical thinking, leadership, something to do with continual learning, behavioral therapy, those kind of things. Those are the soft skills because these are brought about of the automation, the AI, and similar technology. So businesses are looking into really of soft skills. So make sure for those who are looking for career, make sure that your soft skills are on your resume. And as I have mentioned, those are, some of the lists are like communication, the teamwork, creativity. That's really one that's really high as well. Sales, management, marketing, of course, analytical skills. So those are really the high trends for this year that we are really going to reap and be looking forward to for 2024.
Why is that, Ellen?
Kasi nga 'di ba yung technology kasi andyan na siya in place na. Kumbaga, talagang given na the tech people, graphic designers, those who are IT experts will be in place. And so the gap to that is those in terms of soft skills, and that's the reason why these are being being looked into by offices or businesses. And in the research that I've checked as well, the businesses, the situation of the business right now is complex in terms of they are really strong in technology but weak in soft skills. So kailangan talaga that even in these challenging times, even if the technology is high, there should be still something that we will focus on soft skills because it's still a need. Teamwork, something to do with communication, leadership, continual learning, Also, make sure also that an important ingredient as well is connection. Make sure also that, you are seen in your social media, you are, all good information about you display it in your LinkedIn, develop online presence, and make sure you are open to new connections.
How real is that, Ellen? Because when I was listening to you, I get the soft skills. I do some volunteer work with BMEG when they do teaching, training in the provinces. And I see that iba talaga yung kinakamayan mo, inaakbayan mo yung mahirap na o yung luhaan na gustong magpatulong. The EQ, the
immersion.
Immersion, EQ, that's all important. But in terms of this, LinkedIn, IG, people keep telling me, Kuyang, may Facebook ka lang, pang matanda na yung Facebook, go to IG, go to etc. And like, hello, I have very little free time. Sasayangin ko pa dyan sa mga mga platforms na yan. How effective is it?
Actually, with some of the HR professionals that I got engaged with, they are really keen into it. In fact, even in job hiring these days, they ask you to put in your social media, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, and it's being asked for you to submit your page or your LinkedIn or your profile, or so that they can see what you're doing.
Does this mean that the HR people are now much younger, or are they just following uso-uso? Because
following guidelines, instructions, or uso-uso, or probably it's the way to check also on a person how that person is outside of the work. Or there are people also, like let's say they get involved. Ako nag-aaral pa lang ako, all right, and I'm looking for my career, I get involved in campus activities. I document it. In documenting it, I video it, and then I upload it. And if you're applying for a position of a position that it can be seen in your profile that you're documenting this activity. This person is good in communication or in teamwork because in school activity, she or this person helped out in engaging to the people
but
in
does
what.
it follow for older people as well? Older people like me, Ellen? Because I mean, you're young and then yes, it's valid. But for me, parang, hello, if they don't know me by now, I have a problem.
Yes, it's their problem. Not you don't have to worry on that, Cito. For sure, it's
But
their
for
problem.
for older people, ba? You know, most people my age would say, but by this time in my life, I should have established myself. But ko kailangan pang pumunta sa platform? Is it valid?
Yes, it is for sure, Cito. Because the idea that I'm sharing right now are for those job seekers right now because of the trends and the technology, and for them to get a job opportunity. Those are the quick tips. Connection. You are, you are visible in your platform. You're really showcasing your skills in videos. You're documenting it. But of course, in our time right now, we don't have, especially users, Cito, you don't have to prove anything. Tanga na lang yung hindi makakakilala sa'yo.
Hindi. It's not about kilala. I mean, you know,
or
at this age, if we don't achieve a certain level of accomplishment, medyo it's too late, the hero na tayo.
Correct.
But anyway, Ellen, we've run out of time. I'm so sorry, my dear, but we will definitely have a part 2 to this conversation because a lot of young people out there are worried, and even middle-aged people.
Yes,
they're wondering what is my future going to be like. So let's have a part 2 to this in the near future. But in the meantime, thank you very much, and I'll review what you said. Soft skills will be the name of the game for 2023-2024. So invest on improving soft skills for better employment. Okay, thank you very much, Ellen.
Thank you so much, 1PH and 1 News and Sir Cito for this engaging engagement. Thank you. See you next time.
Okay.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ellen Perez, Certified Life Coach. And let's go to our closing prayer for this week from the book of Genesis, chapter 48, verse 4. And said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. I pray that you all have a great, happy weekend. Please pamper yourself. Enjoyin mo naman yung pinaghihirapan mo sa buhay. And if you are husband, children, please give your mothers, your wife, an extended Mother's Day through this week. Bless them, give them breakfast in bed, and I pray that you will pray for Team Agenda. Thank you for once again joining us this week on your program, Your Agenda. Thank you. God bless. Please keep it here on One News.